Have you ever wondered what it really takes to build not just one, but two powerhouse businesses from the ground up? Today's guest, Jazmine Gonzalez, knows exactly what that journey looks like. She's the force behind Hype Productions, a nationally recognized entertainment company, and Loft 21, one of the most cutting-edge event venues around, both known for creating unforgettable experiences. Jazmine started as a D1 college athlete with a side hustle as a DJ. She turned that gig into a career built around celebrating life's biggest moments. In this conversation, you'll hear how Jazmine leads with heart, hustles with purpose, and turns obstacles into opportunity. Yet she still finds the time to mentor young athletes, to build confidence and teach them to be fearless. I'm Laurette Rondenet. I hope you enjoy this episode.
So my story is funny, exciting, but it's pretty much a fluke.
Yeah.
um, I was in college and I played softball and had a scholarship, so that was like a job. So to find a side job where I can manage my schedule was very difficult, and I was by a fluke situation brought into the entertainment world with DJs and dancers and MCs doing weddings, bar mitzvahs, and it was weekend work, so I could be flexible with my schedule. And that's what got my foot in the door into that industry. Opportunity just kept presenting itself, and when it would come, I'd be like, "Yeah, I can do that. Sure, I can do that." And that's really how the trajectory happened of where I am today. It's a lot of oopses that I consider opportunities. So I was started off as a party favor girl with that company from New York. I showed up to the event, and the MC who was supposed to be there paged me. There was pagers back then, and said, "I'm not gonna be there. I'm doing a different event. I need you to step up and be the MC." My answer, "Okay, let's do it." And I was nervous. It was one of the bigger event planners in the industry. It was a big party, but we did it, and it was great. It was a feeling of when you're a performer, you feel the love from the crowd, and you give the love back, and that energy is very exciting. When you're an MC, it's completely different. Back to my competitiveness with sports, your hand on the mic and your voice on the mic controls the outcome of what this family's celebration and their future memories are gonna be. So I love that challenge of what can I do to keep this crowd rocking so their memories are just, forever. And the party was great. When I was heading back to the studio to turn in my paperwork, I heard some of the people in the studio saying, "What? Jasmine MC'd a party? There's no such thing as a female MC." And I was like, "Huh."
So
There's
that
that
was the
competitive side
first
of me.
time a woman was an MC.
Yes.
Wow.
That moment, things started to shift, and I was like, "You don't think I could be an MC just because I'm a female? Watch me."
Wow. So tell me about Hype Productions and what drove you to start your own company.
So, Hype Productions, I started 28 years ago, and we grew and grew, and what I thought was gonna be a hobby turned into a career, and I created Hype to be a pathway for other entertainers to make it a career, to have health benefits, a 401(k) plan, and not just be weekend warriors. It's hard for entertainers, they could do it when they're younger and teenagers and 20s, but when they start to think about getting married, having children, and more responsibilities, a lot of times they have to let it be a hobby. I wanted to create something where they could keep it as a career, where not only financially are they stable, but healthcare wise and future with their 401(k). So that was my goal with Hype. And part of our marketing and promotion with Hype, I started doing showcases once a year, free, open to the public. Come see everything we offer from the production side, the performance side, the music side. And we were doing it in different country clubs where we started having too many guests to do at country clubs. So I started going to the bigger hotels and partnering with them. It started to get too big. So when I was struggling to find a place for the showcase, a planner said, "You shared with me years ago that someday you were going to do a venue. Why don't you just do it now?" Again, another strong female planting that seed of encouragement. Do it now. And I was like, "Oh, let me look into it." And I kind of took it as that hobby, take like I did with Hype. And I started looking around at buildings, and I walked into the old Cubby Bear with my husband, with my architect. I'm like, "This is it. Let's gut this place." And I created Loft 21. It's a 31,000 square foot private event space, and I wanted it to be a blank canvas for any entertainment company, any event planner, decor company, corporation. Just come in and design it how you want. The sound, the screens, the lighting, the technology, it's already built in, so you could come in and it's like a sandbox for anybody having an event.
If you're enjoying our conversation so far, please take a moment to like, comment, or subscribe. Your feedback helps us book amazing guests like Jazmine. So talk a little bit, I'm kind of bouncing all over, but I love your story of how you had to pivot during COVID because both of your
Mhm.
businesses were so connection and in person. I thought that was really cool what you did.
That was very hard. I
I
think out of
bet.
everything in my life, that is the most difficult thing I faced. When March happened, so
March 13th, 2020 for my world. Yes.
that Wednesday, we had a ton of events that weekend, and that Wednesday, clients called, they're like, "What do we do?" I'm like, "I can't give you an answer. I don't know what this
Nobody
is.
knew what was happening yet.
Thursday, what do we do? Friday, what do we do?" Saturday morning, clients calling and saying, "We're pulling the plug." Okay. So in our mind, we immediately thought, "All right, maybe we're down a couple weeks, a month, we'll just reschedule your date. It'll be no big deal." Who knew it was gonna last as long as it did? But the most difficult thing was that our venue is Illinois. Hype goes nationwide. So, while the world slowly started to open up in other states, Illinois didn't truly open till March of '22, and that was giving the green light to hold larger events, but it still took another 6 to 9 months for people to feel comfortable to start scheduling events. So, Loft 21 had a very difficult run because it was hard to pivot. Like, we turned our parking lot into, drive-in theaters and
That is so fun.
yeah, I mean
Had I known that, I would have been there.
well, it's fun. The first hour, Hype would entertain and make it like an
Yes.
outdoor dance party festival, and then we'd show a movie. And we had amazing partners come and do like hot dog stands and cotton candy, and so it was super fun. But with Hype, we were able to pivot pretty easily. I live in Indiana, so I started doing more marketing to Indiana. Plus, we already had a good market in other states, and so Hype was able to keep moving with very little pause. But with Loft 21, it was difficult, and we're still kind of climbing out of that hole because if it opened in March of '22 and people didn't really start booking to the end of '22, those new bookings are just starting to come to fruition now
Yeah.
because people book 2 and 3 years in advance.
Yeah, that was definitely a hard time, and I think we all learned so much going through that and appreciate being together and connection. It's hugely important. So what's your business aspirations and where do you want Hype and Love 21 to go and what kind of legacy there?
I think the success of Hype Productions and Loft 21 has always been our core and our genuine love for entertaining, love for helping other families and corporations and charity galas create their celebrations and their memories. And I feel like as long as we keep finding the right people who love doing this, it can't just be a job to be a part of Hype and Loft. Like you have to really love it. And as long as we keep finding the right people, we're gonna keep spreading that joy. And I think that will continue on. And I mean, I still love performing. I still plan on performing for a long time, but I don't ever see myself really leaving the industry. I mean, I could have 2 broken legs and still spread joy and do what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no rush and no need to get out of it because it's so purposeful for you, I could tell. And we all need that. You got to have the purpose. So talk a little bit about your greatest mentor in your life, like who really
Oh,
took you under their wing
yes.
and
That is, my softball coach. Yeah. Ooh,
coaches are so powerful.
give me 1 minute. Um,
Is your coach still alive?
he is, and we're so close, and he's so close with my daughters who are athletes, and, he is just like oh, goodness.
Does he live in Chicago?
He lives in, the south suburbs. We're not far from each other,
That's awesome.
and we still see each other all the time, and he comes out to my daughter's games, and he and his wife, they're amazing humans, but growing up with him as my travel softball coach, he coached with a fierceness, like, very intense, very supportive, but very intense, and as a matter of fact, and this is the job, and this is what we've gotta do, and we've gotta practice and work hard, we've gotta get it done. But what was great was one particular moment, we were in a championship game, I'm on 3rd base, and my nickname was Speedy Gonzalez, I was a fast runner,
I love that.
and he said, "Gonzalez, you're scoring on the next pitch. I don't care if the catcher's sitting there waiting with the ball, you better score." And I did. I went running, she went down to tag me, I jumped over her, and I scored. In
Wow.
that
Did they get a
moment
video of that?
it was in the Tribune.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
But in that moment, it was just like you are being coached to be fearless and have a fierceness about you and just tackle anything that came at you. That moment defines me today. in everything, like, as a wife, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, even when I have employees who go, "Hey, I need some help with this," and it's about their personal life. I'm here. I got you. Let me help you be strong and empower you to succeed. And I think that
He believed in you. And like it just teaches us that, especially and we're going to definitely talk about young women, but there's a saying like if they can't see it, they can't be it. And we talked about that the first time we had such a good conversation on the phone, but it's that he saw in you, and I think that's what you take with you.
sure.
It sounds like, and then you spread it.
Well, me as a softball coach, that's like, I mean, I love the game. I love teaching the game. I love teaching competitiveness and that beast mode mentality. But I love when I have a player who's like, "Hey, coach, this is what happened. And guess what I did?" And I love when they're like so excited. And a lot of them, they're freshmen now. They just tried out for their high school team and they're texting me, "Coach, I made the team." And oh, I love that.
That is huge. And I heard you saying how it's not about the D1 scholarship. I think
No,
that's really powerful too.
no, like, our daughters, people always ask them, "What do you like better, softball or volleyball? And what camps are you going to? And D1, D1?" I was like, "No, don't say that to our girls. They are playing sports for the love. A scholarship's a bonus." I just don't believe in that kind of pressure on any athlete. I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think it should be a job when you are a kid.
Did that happen to
It
you or
didn't, and I
that's
think there
great.
are a rare percentage of athletes who they just love it. They, like, eat, breathe, drink it, and I was that kid. I, like, every day of the week, I had 2 older brothers. We were out playing wiffle ball, baseball, flag football. It was just sports, sports, sports every day, but them being 2 older brothers, I was always at the baseball field until I was old enough to start playing softball, so I think there's a rare percentage of athletes who it's just innate. And it and even now,
Your
D1
brothers
then
must have been so proud of you. I bet. Like, "You go,
Yeah.
girl."
Well, even now, D1, the definition of D1 is so different. Like, you weren't shunned back then for being a multi-sport athlete because I played volleyball and softball. Nowadays, a lot of coaches expect you to pick one, and, my daughters are
This is
13.
totally you.
Yes, my daughters are 13 and 15, and we tell
Don't let 'em
coaches
pick.
we are not picking one, so if you want them on your team, be ready to juggle because 'cause we're ready to juggle. They'll put in the work. They are workhorses, but we will not just pick one, and every coach they've had has been very receptive to that and embraced it.
That's awesome. So, Jasmine, tell me what's advice you give women that are, as you said, juggling it all and mompreneur.
Entrepreneur.
I love that. That's good. But yeah, how do you coach women that are in that place and probably women on your team?
Sure. I think there are a few, statements that really ring true that balance from personal to professional life. The struggle to juggle is real. That could be for male or female, but there is a different weight when you are a mom. And I'm not saying dads don't have dad guilt, but there's a difference when you're a mom. And for me, like a couple of my teammates, one at Loft, who's my right hand person at Loft 21, and another one who's one of my main performers at Hype, and my work husband at Hype and Loft, they all just had babies within a small
Can
window
they
of
not talk to each other and communicate that? You get this year, I'll get next year.
Here's what was so amazing about it. Number 1, we're all naturally so excited for them and, prepared to pick up any slack to help them through this chapter. But one of them had trouble, like, I wanna come back to work. I love my job, but I just haven't found anybody I trust to babysit. What do I do? What do I do? And she was feeling some anxiety. And me being the first one on our team to have gone through that, I know what that feels like. And I was able on a just female to female level to help her through that and help her balance and reassure her, you don't have to rush back. You go at your speed. If something happens the day of, you and your family will always come first to me and they should always come first to you. And I think giving them not just her as a female, but even for Vega, one of our males who's the top of the heap with me in the company, giving him that grace, that reassurance that it's okay. And if we happen to have a client who just gets so angry and they don't like it, too bad. This is real life. If 2020 hasn't taught you what's important, I mean, nobody's going to purposely try and destroy your event. But if a real life thing is happening and something else needs to take place, our job as a business is to be prepared to cover that. And we are.
And it seems like with that giving grace, it's also, and I think this sports teach you this too. And I just played basketball, but only through high school, so nothing like your level.
It's okay.
But I think it does teach you not to be a perfectionist. There's definitely the intensity and the
Sure.
competitiveness, but I think the best athletes and what I've seen it in my kids, that's for sure, that can let it go,
Yes.
right?
Well, you can't go on to the next play if you can't
And
let it go.
yeah, and I can tell particularly with one of my children,
Yeah.
he has a harder time than the other one, and I can see it in the next play, and I'm like, "Let it go." Like,
Right.
just you gotta yeah, and that's work too. I mean, at our businesses, it's like there's gonna be failure.
Yeah, I tell my kids, I tell my teammates, my performers, and even office and warehouse staff, we have this perfect checklist of what to do to make everything perfect. It's real life, it's live production. A ball is gonna fall. Our job is to be 3 steps ahead to avoid that fall, but our job is to also be prepared if a ball does drop. How do we fix it immediately that nobody knows?
Mhm.
Keep the
And
show going.
and learn from it. If
Yeah.
there's almost always the best learnings in my life have happened in those
Sure.
failure moments.
And I think the, end of event recap meeting, we talk about the good, bad, and ugly. We don't sugarcoat to each other. I do the same thing with my athletes.
Yeah.
We huddle at the end of a game. We talk about the good, bad, and the ugly, and we make a list of what are we going to work on at the next practice. Furthermore, my husband and I have a rule. When we get in the car, we're mom and dad again. We're not your coaches anymore. So the walk to the
I can't
car,
even imagine coaching any of my children.
it is a rare dynamic because most of the people I see who coach their kids, they don't have great communication. But my husband and I have been very successful at that with our girls. And I think because we created those strong rules and we stick to them.
Yeah.
But when we get home, they wanna watch the videos and they wanna examine and make their good, bad, and ugly list and their goal list, and
Can't tell you how many
that's great
football
for life.
reels I've watched
Yeah.
my kids. Look at this, look at this.
But it's almost a glimpse of to who they're going to be as adults,
Yeah.
that they have that determination to be their best. They don't have to be the best, they have to be their best.
Yeah, that is so true. So I'll get down to the last two questions here, but so describe how you kind of pay it forward. I mean, obviously the coaching. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for sure
one
coaching.
huge
For sure coaching, and I have had something weighing on me for a couple of years. My oldest daughter, um we're Christians. We go to church on Sundays when we're not playing sports. And 2 years ago, she made a comment. She's like, "Do do you think it's okay? I mean, we've missed, like, church 3 Sundays in a row because we have these tournaments." And that weighed heavy on me that she was feeling, like, guilty and bad about that, and I didn't want her to feel that way. And I said, "You know what, Aubriana? Why don't we start our own group called Christian Athletes Alliance and find other athletes who are juggling being great students, great Christians, great kids, great friends, and just build a camaraderie, like a
that's a
little
great idea.
fellowship there." And it's been riding on my shoulders for 2 years and balancing life and everything. It's kind of always just been this, "I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it."
Like your Loft 21 and
Yes.
yeah.
And this week, something happened this past weekend. A player of mine came over and was hanging out at the house, and she was sharing with me, crying at my kitchen table about some things that she's experiencing as a freshman in high school. And it's not been a great experience, coach, and this, and that. And I'm like looking at her and feeling like a mom figure, but also her coach. But as I'm listening and feeling her, the wheels start going. I'm a solution person. And what can I do? This She's not the only kid who's feeling this way.
Mhm.
So I'm doing it. I've given myself a 30-day mark. I'm doing it. I am officially creating Christian Athletes Alliance, and I'm going to find other teens who are carrying around that type of stress and nervousness and excitement. And I want to put a
Anxiety.
group of kids together that can celebrate each other and lift each other up when they need lifting and just to be around other good humans. I think
That's
just
beautiful.
like the sport ties people together, why not tie people together who are like-minded? I do it as an entrepreneur. I find like-minded people to, be at my events.
Are you envisioning it like a place, like where the kids would
So
go, or
right now I'm thinking I'm just
it's
gonna
gonna be your
rent a
house?
yeah. Right now I'm thinking it's just gonna be renting out a local place and, having fellowship. Our first idea, because of this young lady on Saturday talking about insecurities and different things she's feeling, I want before Easter just to make these little mason jars and put affirmations in there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And just go to high school after, the weekend and hand it off to someone. Just say, "Hey, just wanted to brighten your day," and let them decide what they're gonna do with those affirmations. The smallest little simple thing, and then let's go have pizza and miniature golf or do something fun. That one little moment that will maybe take that guilt away from an athlete who can't be at church every Sunday. I think it's important.
That's very important. And these kids need that. I mean, there's just stress and anxiety that they're going
Sure.
through, and get off the social media and do something that connects you for real and nourishes your soul. I love that. Okay, lady. Well, you got a lot of lucky people in your life that have you in your life. I think you're amazing.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for being here. But before we totally end, I would love to hear what the legacy is that you would like to leave behind. I think you already have left a huge one, but it's in the works. But what does success look like? And you're like, oh, I did it.
I think my legacy is seeing my daughters succeed, but not just within themselves. I want them to be strong women, to empower other women, and just to be that rock in in each other's lives, but in other people's lives. I mean, what parent can't look back at their kid, first is manners and then it's grades and as they build as young individuals, these things that you become so proud of.
And touch other
So for
lives.
me, if the teammates I have on my team can do that within, they can do that in their exterior. If my kids can do that within, they can do that in their exterior.
And we were talking how right now, this is so important. It is so critically important that especially these kids don't get pulled into this stupid conversation that's really a fight about words more than anything.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, that they still feel seen,
Yeah.
right?
We're in a world of negativity right now. So if we
It's
can
heavy.
slowly build these soldiers of positivity and kindness, and loyalty is a lifestyle for me. Loyal to your family, your friends, your goals, yourself. And if you can commit to that, that struggle is not going to be quite as difficult.
I love that. And it's when we talked before, I was saying that female strong is something I feel really passionate about. Um, and I remember going through this personally, like that awkward age of like sixth to eighth grade where you kind of lose your confidence. You
Sure.
really, but having great coaches and
Yeah.
things like that are so important to keep young women up and
Absolutely.
believing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jasmine's story shows what it really means to lead with heart, stay fearless, and risk it all for the next opportunity. She's built something meaningful by trusting her team and showing up every day. Her passion for mentoring the next generation, both in business and on the softball field, proves her legacy is rooted in love, community, and empowerment. Connect with Jazmine on LinkedIn or check out her businesses at hypeproductions.com and Loft 21 events. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to subscribe for more real conversations about purpose, leadership, and the legacies we're all building.